live from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee. Today I'm having my French vanilla brewed coffee from a 7-Eleven. This one is a large French vanilla brewed coffee, 57 pesos, about a dollar, right outside the gate of our gated community here, walking distance. But today, on my way home, I've stopped by and got my French vanilla brewed. I haven't had it in a few days, so I figure I'll get one. And also, I got me this calamansi juice. This is like my favorite calamansi juice now here in the Philippines. This one I think is about 90 pesos, about $1.75. 1 liter of calamansi. I also got some my malunggay pandesal. I got my malunggay pandesal. I've already eaten a couple. I like this is from Numancia, my favorite Joni's malunggay pandesal. Really nice pandesal. I like their pandesal because it's crusty, like on the top, but like fluffy still. It's like really light. It's like a really nice pandesal, my favorite. They're like 5 pesos because they're the bigger size pandesal. And I like dunking my pandesal. That's the trick here with Filipinos like to do it. You dunk it in your coffee, let that coffee soak in, and just take a bite, man. Good pandesal. Good way to eat your pandesal. Good way to eat your pandesal. Good morning, Mister, from Charlie Latz, my good friend in Boston. Hannah. Hello, Hannah. Good morning, Hannah, or good evening, or good afternoon, depending where you are. Hi, Brother Gino Pinay Heart, my good friend in Oceanside, California. Hi, Pinay Heart. Charlie Lance, I'm on my way out the door, so I got to. Oh, no worries. Thank you for stopping by, Charlie. Thank you so much. Enjoy the coffee. Oh yes, I love this coffee. It's my favorite brewed coffee. It's like the easiest for me to get. They have a vending machine. You just put your cup, press the button, and you're good to go, man. Hey, there's the Colonel in Iloilo City. Good morning, warm people in the Philippines. Come join us in your cold weather. Well, this morning I'm wearing a sweatshirt this morning. Actually, this hoodie sweatshirt. Emilio from San Diego. He brought this to me when he visited Calibo. When I hanged out with him. This is a gift that he got for me. From the U.S. He brought this all the way from the U.S. and I appreciate them because it fits me perfect. I like these hoodies. I don't get to wear a lot of hoodies here or a lot of sweatshirt, but today's a good day for it. 73 degrees Fahrenheit here. And a little sprinkle this morning. Not raining anymore, but when I dropped off Liena, it was like light rain this morning. And today's Monday, so Liena on Monday, I always have to drop her off a little early. Usually 7 is when I drop her off, but on Monday, I have to drop her off at 6:45 because she's got cleaners. She's responsible for cleaning the classroom and outside the classroom. She's got there's a group of 7, and she's in charge of the cleaners group. They have to clean in the morning, and then they have to clean after school today. And then, of course, today is flag ceremony day. National anthem, Philippine national anthem, Aklan hymn, Numancia song, and then the school song, Numancia Integrated School, and also their pledge of allegiance. They have to pledge allegiance to the flag of the Philippines. They do that every Monday, and it's not required, but almost every student wears a uniform on Monday. The public school here in Aklan, uniforms are encouraged but not mandatory because I guess they can't make it mandatory because maybe not everybody can afford a uniform. But for the most part, Monday everybody wears their uniforms on Monday. Pinay Heart, wow, fresh. Hi, Hannah. Yeah, it's like it's still warm. It's still warm. The bag is still warm. It's actually got some steam coming out of it still. I just got the pandesal from the bakery. I was actually surprised when I picked it up because usually if I go to the pandesal place around 7, there's usually a line. I usually try to get there around before 6 or right at 6, then I can go in and out. But this time there was like maybe 2 or 3 people ahead of me, but not too bad. I've seen it worse. I've seen it to where like 8, 9 people ahead of me on the pandesal, man. Sometimes it kind of discourages me. If I see 8 or 9 people, oh man, I'll just get my pandesal some other time. Hi, Colonel from Hannah. Hey, Derek. Aloha, aloha, my brother from Hawaii. Good morning from Hawaii. You got your friends, but yeah, the French vanilla. French vanilla is my favorite. You can get French vanilla brewed coffee at any 7-Eleven. When I go to Rojas City, I can get it. When I go to Iloilo City, I can get it. Boracay, I can get it. So pretty much anywhere in Panay Island, I can get. And it's probably the only brewed coffee I can get that's from like a fast food or I can get like brewed coffee at McDonald's, a McCafe. But a quick and easy. You just go in, punch the machine. Very convenient, very convenient. If you like brewed coffee, and it's not just French vanilla. They have other flavors, and I think they got regular too. I just like French vanilla because I've always been a fan of that French vanilla in the U.S. That blue container, Nestle. I think Nestle makes it. I just can't get that here in the Philippines. The only time I can buy it is at SNR in Iloilo City, and it's not guaranteed that they have it. That's the thing about SNR here in the Philippines. It's the Costco of the Philippines compared to items that you can get at Costco. The difference is when I used to shop at Costco, if there's products that I like at Costco, like French vanilla cream or steaks or whatever, it's consistent. I can count on it that if I like this bag of meatballs or something, they have it every time. The brand that I like and every time. That doesn't happen here at SNR. SNR here in the Philippines, it's hit or miss. One time you can go there, they might have your French vanilla creamer. They might have a gallon of fresh milk from the US, but another time or another month you go and they're not available. It's just how it is. I guess it has to do with their shipment. All the items are like that. Even like I like Kettle potato chips, and I'm not guaranteed every time that I go to SNR that they'll have Kettle potato chips. So when they're available, man, I'm stocking up. I'm getting 4 or 5 bags of Kettle potato chips because it's not available all the time. It's not the same in the US, right? Like Kettle potato chips, if I go to HEB grocery, Safeway grocery, I can bank on it that's always available. Or if I go to Costco or Sam's Club, the stuff that I like, it's always there. It doesn't work like that here in the Philippines with SNR. Future farmers, Levi. Hey, Levi. Hey, man, I'm down to my last Cipro, man. I got one more day of a Cipro antibiotic. So hopefully after this, I'll get my checkup. I feel okay, the only thing, I'm still congested, something with my sinuses. I still have a hard time hearing on my right ear, but no ear pain at all, that's gone away. I just have to, after I finish this, I have to get my blood work for my creatinine. So I'm always tracking my kidneys because of my chemo treatments. It damaged my kidneys. So I got to get blood work this week and then see my ENT doctor and see what's up, man. What's up with this super blue, man? This super blue is It's been lingering, man. I've had it for over 2 weeks now, and I'm not 100% yet. But I'm just resting, drinking a lot of calamansi juice. Dazzle's got me that salabat, that ginger hot drink, so resting pretty much the whole day. I'm just resting. So hopefully I get over this thing soon. Pinay hard, Pinay hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It went fast there. I got a lot of comments. I gotta catch up to the comments here. I gotta catch up to the comments. And then I'll start on my topic once I don't want to get too behind. I don't want to get too behind on my comments here. Because it's hard for me to catch up later. I don't want to miss anybody's comment because you all are important to me. Pinay Hard, hi Colonel Belus. Good morning. Lot of rain in Leyte. Hey Belus, my brother in Leyte. Good morning. Not a lot of rain, but it's been light sprinkle. Ever since I woke up this morning. I was gonna walk this morning. I might get caught in the rain. So I got up about 5 a.m. and it was sprinkling pretty good. So I said, I'll just wait. Maybe after the live stream here, I'll walk my dog, Totoy, because it doesn't look like it's raining now, but it's cloudy day for sure today. Keep on the hydration. Yeah, man, I'm just salabat, ginger, hot drink. Dazzle got me that, and the calamansi juice. I got cocoa water, and then regular water. I'm hydrated. I'm always going to the bathroom peeing, so I know I'm well hydrated because I always have to be well hydrated too because of my kidneys. That's part of if you have any kidney troubles, your doctors are gonna tell you just drink as much fluids as you can so it'll flush out your kidney. I'm always watching my pee, make sure it's clear, and not an issue at all. I want some, Hannah. Hey, when you come to the Philippines, we'll get you some malunggay pandesal, man. This malunggay pandesal is awesome. Hi, future farmers from Pinay Heart. Hi, Belus from Pinay Heart. Hi, Hannah and Pinay Heart. Hi, future farmers. Levi, our chicken farmer and our lettuce farmer, Levi. Hey, Beast from Hannah. Belus, hi, Pinay. Future, hey, Pinay Heart. How's your day? Easy day today. How about yourself? All right, Martin. I love your channel, bro. I don't know why I keep coming back. Hey, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate Martin. People tell me they like watching my morning live stream just to start their day in a positive way. And that's what I try to do, man. I'm not, I'll try to report what's going on in the Philippines, but I just want everybody to start their day good, or maybe end their day in the US if they're just got home trying to relax, man. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Martin, for your support. I appreciate it. Where is the new member of your family, Kuya Gino? Kalel is still upstairs. We actually don't let Kalel out of our bedroom because he hasn't completed all his shots. I think third set of shots, he's gonna get it February 4 on his birthday. We're trying to keep him away from Totoy just because we don't want him to catch anything. We don't even take him outside. When it's a little sunny, I'll take him out just to get some sun, but we're keeping him away from other dogs just because there's a thing going on here in the Philippines. The vet actually, when Kal-El had the shots on the last shot, says there's an airborne disease right now here for dogs. Parvo or something that's killing a lot of dogs here in the Philippines. So I'm like, man, that's the last thing we need. It's to lose Kal-El. We're already attached to Kal-El. We've had him now for almost a month. Dazzle just absolutely loves Kal-El, man. He's a lot of fun. How's it going, Hannah from Levi? It's been good, future. Lots of snow. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm watching the news, it goes on my Facebook feeds. A lot of snow. Actually, in the Philippines, the month of January and now the beginning of February, it's a little cooler than normal. We don't get low 70-degree Fahrenheit. For Filipinos, that's cool, man. That's why I'm not the only one wearing sweatshirt. Like when I was at the Pandesal place, people were wearing jackets, hoodies with jackets at the Pandesal place. People were like this, waiting for their Pandesal, and 70 degrees, But, we're used to like the 90-degree temperatures and the 100-degree temperatures there. Ramil, it's 17 degrees. I saw that even in North Carolina, South Carolina, friends of mine posting on their Facebook that even in Florida, I know Daniel had posted in Florida, they had like, it didn't stick, the snow didn't stick, but snow is falling in Florida. That's like, wow, it's like the whole like East Coast, it looks like Northeast, East Coast is, and Midwest is like getting hammered with snow, man. Colonel, Brother Belouz, get to work, man. Get to work. Man, Belouz is always working, man. Colonel Belouz is always working. And it feels 28 here in Missouri. Ooh, that's still below temp freezing. I know that's still cold, man. It's 70 here. Oh, yeah, that's more our temperature. It's 70. Like right now, let me look at here at the Numancia. 73 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And it says here for Numancia, cloudy, heavy showers in the morning, which I must have missed. I must have missed the heavy showers. But rain and thunderstorm in the afternoon. So we're expecting rain and thunderstorm also. Cloudy with occasional rain and thunderstorm tonight. So pretty much the whole day today here in Numancia, Western Visayas here in the Philippines, we are expecting rain. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the weather since I already started it. The Pag-asa website, I'm looking at the Pag-asa website here. It says Visayas, where we belong in Visayas. Visayas is a middle region of the Philippines. You got Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. We're in Visayas, in Western Visayas. It says here, Visayas, Sorsogon, Masbate. Masbate is where Michael W, thriving expat, that's where he lives, that area. Dinagat, Surigao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, Northeast Mindanao. Cloudy skies, scattered rains, isolated thunderstorms. So pretty much same weather as here. Resto Mindanao, same thing. Metro Manila and Resto Luzon, partly cloudy, isolated light rain. So pretty much the entire Philippines from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, we're getting rain today. We're getting it. There's no tropical depression, no low pressure area. But I was watching Westpac. Westpac is like the American that does weather in the Philippines. He actually, I think he's in Cebu right now. But he was mentioning that towards the end of this week, there might be a tropical depression or low pressure developing. I'm looking at it on the Windy app. It's still quite a distance away from the Philippines. It's closer to Guam, if anything. It hasn't entered the Philippine area of responsibility. So until it enters the Philippine area of responsibility, it's not considered like a typhoon or a weather event here. The minute it enters the Philippine area of responsibility, they will give it a name here in the Philippines, and it'll be the letter B, because we've had one typhoon this year, Typhoon Ada, ADA. So this could possibly towards the end of the week, just maybe, no guarantee that it might turn into a tropical depression or a low pressure area. I always give out the peso report now too, because people are asking that all the time too. The US dollar to peso, Philippine peso exchange rate, 58.84. I think that was the same yesterday. It didn't go up, go down, but that's still pretty high. Anything close to 59, that's a high. 59.40, I think, was like the all-time high. So anything close to 59, that's still a high exchange rate here in the Philippines. And one thing that's really nice that I've noticed, usually when the dollar to peso exchange rate goes up, so does gasoline prices here goes up. But one thing that's been nice is the dollar is like going up, all-time record, but the gasoline in the Philippines is like staying below 60 pesos a liter. I actually paid like 56 the other day. Man, that's like, I haven't paid 56 since before the pandemic. You know, it's just awesome because like, makes the cost of living better, you know, because like cheaper for us that we're paying less for gas, but higher exchange rate for people that are dollar earners here in the Philippines. And you know, people would say, well, it's just the expats benefiting from that. That is not true. Majority of people that I know living here in my community, everybody gets like a remittance from family members for overseas. Like half of the people that live here in Camellia Aklan, their dad, you know, the earner in the family, the husband or the wife, they're working overseas. They're working in Dubai. They're working in a ship. You know, so for them, it's a blessing too that the exchange rate is high. So it's not just foreigners, expats benefiting from many remittance is a big thing in the Philippines. You know, it's hard to find a family here in the Philippines that's not getting some kind of support from overseas Filipino workers overseas, or a remittance from America, from Canada, from from Britain. The economy, the Philippine economy, wouldn't function without the remittance from the different parts of the world. Derek, she learning to be a master sergeant. Learning to be a master sergeant. If you mean Leanna, you know, I've mentioned it to Leanna before, but maybe someday that the target for Leanna, we want to make her a nurse. That's the priority. That's the goal. I'm teaching her medical terminology now. I'm going to introduce nursing books to her, hospital books. But the goal is just for Leanna to become a nurse. And then if someday the opportunity presents itself that, you know, I know the United States Air Force, I know they always need nurses. You know, they can never have enough nurses. If you're a licensed nurse in America, they will recruit you. They will recruit you in the Air Force or other military service. So they always are needed. They cannot get enough nurses, doctors, dentists in the military. Hey Bizwax, my good friend, my brother in Davao City. My connection in Davao City, man. Bizwax updates me with things in Davao going on. I'm learning more about Davao because of Bizwax. I've never been to Davao, but I like talking to Bizwax because he's been living in Davao now. He's from Ohio, moved to Davao City. Good morning, my brother. Appreciate you, Bizwax. Belus, 25 hit. All right. Oh, thank you, Belus. Appreciate it, Belus. Skating Geezer, good morning from Ormoc City, my good friend in Ormoc. Skating Geezer, hope all is well. All is well, man. It's like, I can't complain. Got my pandesal, got my French vanilla brewed coffee. Weather's good, you know, it's like, it's nice and cool, man. It's like, life is good, brother. Got snow bomb. North Carolina got snow bomb. I'm watching it, man. I'm watching it. I know those areas normally don't, you know, usually it's like Northeast, right? Like Massachusetts, New York, or Midwest, you know. But, you know, the South, you know, once in a while, you know, they get hit by a snow bomb. My Copico Blanca package says it's new and improved. Oh, new and improved. I'm looking at mine. Let me see. I must have gotten the old batch, man. I got the old batch. I still keep I have it on the table here, but I do not see new and improved. I'll have to check it out. What this new and improved is all about, Colonel. I know, Derek, I saw in the weather. Here where I live, maybe only got 2 inches. What do they improve with Copico? More sugar or more cream? I know, right? I know Pinay Heart during the holidays, they had like a Copico Blanca, like a holiday version, like a holiday. And They added marshmallow, and the other one they added sprinkle. I didn't get it. I was like, marshmallow, and if it was hot chocolate, I might have done it. But coffee and marshmallow and coffee and sprinkle, I was like, no, I'll pass. I'll pass. I didn't try it. I think Colonel tried it because he showed it to me that he tried it. So my area was luckier than others. Yes, definitely, Hannah. If you only got 2 inches, that's not bad, right? That's not bad. I learned how to drink almond milk. I've tried almond milk. I like it. Almond milk, oat milk, all that is available now here in the Philippines. It's not fresh. It's not. I'm sure in the U.S. they probably have a fresh version, like fresh milk, the gallon and the cart. Here, when it says fresh milk here, it's in a carton and it's not refrigerated. It can stay on the shelf for a year, But I don't know how fresh that is, but that's what they advertise it. Fresh milk, but I got some. Let me show you what it looks like. They come in these cartons right here. Like this one, I always like move around and try different types of milk because I'm a milk lover. I love milk. This one, Australia's own full cream milk. And when you go to the grocery, these things are just sitting in the shelf. They're not refrigerated. It's like says here 100% Australian dairy. Source of protein, source of calcium. So I kind of rotate. I try everything. I'll get oat milk. I'll get almond milk. I'll get Australian milk. I just like trying different things. But I love it. I'm a milk lover, man. I drink milk all the time. Belus, morning, Colonel. Too much rain. Tita Caroline, shut us down. Welcome to Leyte. Well, Beluso, you always tell me how Leyte is, man. You always tell me how it rains a lot in Leyte. Fortune, Master Yoda, Master Fortune. My brother in Bacoor, in Cavite. Good AM, Gino fam, and the Panay Pasi. I don't know if almond milk is common in the Philippines. You can buy it now, Pinay Heart. They all come in a carton like this. It's almond milk, oat milk, whatever milk they start creating. There's a whole aisle in the grocery at Save More Grocery, SM Cherry, and they come in these kind of cartons, but they're not like refrigerated, like I said. So I don't know how fresh that is, but I drink it. I only drink decaf with almond milk. Probably I need to switch to Great Taste Coffee. Great Taste Coffee, all right, man. Same thing, as many milk cartons available in the aisle. There's like, man, a whole aisle of like choices for coffee, man. Filipinos are coffee lovers. Like that 3-in-1 coffee, there are at least 50 to 60 varieties of a 3-in-1 coffee. Manny Pacquiao even has a Manny Pacquiao 3-in-1 coffee, man. There's even malunggay 3-in-1 coffee. If you can believe that, they put malunggay leaves on their coffee. Mangosteen coffee. I mean, they're creating all kinds of new things here, to attract people's attention, of course. All about selling. The Colonel, beautiful. Good AM, Charlie, Hannah, Pinay Heart, Colonel Derek Belus, Biz, all right, from Fortune. Oh, you're important to all of us as well, Gino. All right, you are. You got, I wouldn't be here if you all aren't important to me. I wouldn't keep doing the live streams if nobody's watching. Why would I do it? But I do appreciate everybody's support. I like doing it. It's like I would not be doing live streams if I didn't enjoy doing it. I think that would show anyway. Hi, Brother Fortune. Hi, Derek. Hi, Fortune. Gino, no small red dots on your hands, arms, or leg. Just to think. No, I don't. I don't have any dots or anything. I don't have any fever. I don't have any cough. The only thing now is like I'm congested. My ears. It kind of like if I blow my nose, if I try to blow my nose or do one of those things where you kind of like pop your ears, it'll pop a little, but I don't think I have dengue. Well, I'll find out, all right, because I got to get blood work, but blood work this week again. The Colonel, and I haven't seen mosquitoes or anything like that. I haven't even heard of dengue here in our area. So, beeswax, Pinay heart, almond milk is common and available in the Philippines. Yep, I see it all the time now. There was a time when almond milk is like that's like almond milk, but now it's so common here. It's a lot of the cafes in Calibo. If I go to Calibo and drink a latte at the cafes, they'll ask you, yeah, you want oat milk, almond milk, regular milk, non-fat milk? Man, they got all kinds of milk here, man. Lowell, kumusta from Oregon? Hey, Lowell, kumusta? God bless. God bless, my brother. God bless. Pinay heart. Thank you, Bizwax. That's good to know. Oh, yeah, man. More and more things are becoming available here, Pinay heart. I know a lot of it, I think, because like, you know how Filipinos are. Filipinos like to copy anything American. They just love anything about America, right? Even Starbucks, when Starbucks finally showed up here in the Philippines, there's so many Starbucks now. And then from Starbucks, everybody started opening their own cafes, imitating Starbucks. So even in Calibo alone, there's Argon Cafe, Cafe Latte, Terra Vega Cafe, Iyagi Cafe. There's just like half a dozen cafes now. Like the cafes look like a Starbucks, and pricier, of course, and it's like almost $2 for a cup of coffee. But their beans, they use beans from Benguet beans, so they use Batangas beans, they use Mindanao beans, they use like beans from abroad, from Malaysia, even Hawaii, like Kona. They're pretty fancy here in the Philippines now with coffee. You'll be surprised. And this is Calibo. This is the province, and they're that fancy. It's like I couldn't even imagine in Manila. The cafes in Manila. How fancy they have gotten. Being a barista, that's a big thing here in the Philippines now. I know TESDA. TESDA is like the vocational school. They offer it even here in Aklan province. TESDA. To become a barista, the government pays for it. You enroll in TESDA, government pays for it. You actually get an allowance even. So when you become a barista, with all the cafes opening up here in Calibo, Boracay's got a ton of cafes. People are doing that, going that direction. There's a lot of people doing that instead of like 4 years of college and you got to wait 4 years to earn money. Man, barista, 3-4 months of training, you can start earning money. Going on my 7th week of the super flu, still sinus, and man, I hope they figure it out with me, Belus, man. But I guess it is what it is, right, Belus? For me, we're both Belus and I were both immunocompromised, so that's why it's harder for us to recover from diseases. But the one thing Belus and I have in common is we're used to having something. When you go through cancer treatments, when you go the after effects of cancer, you're just used to things. Like if I can't hear from my right ear for months and months, I'm just used to that. I'll get used to it because it's one of those things when you go to chemo treatments, there's just things in your body that is not going to work the same way it used to. Like I don't have the same endurance anymore. I get tired easy. I suffered a little bit of vertigo, like up and down those stairs in the beginning was a challenge. Now at least I'm good with that. There's just things that don't go back to the way it used to be because with chemo treatments, when you go to chemo treatments, it poisons your entire body. If you can imagine your whole body being poisoned, there's just things that won't function the same anymore. and it is what it is. It's what kept me alive, you know. So that was my choice, whether if I want to live longer with chemo radiation, or take a chance that that my cancer would just go away by itself. Pinay Heart. Hi, Lowell. All right, Lowell. Morning Fortune Colonel. God bless. God bless. God bless, Lowell. Good PM, Lowell. Well, this is just me, but when I start feeling sick, I drink goat milk. And when oh wow, goat milk. Man, I love goat milk. Growing up in the Philippines, in the province of Bulacan, when I spend my vacation, I love goat milk. Not popular here in Aklan province. I have not seen anybody selling goat milk here in Aklan province. There's a guy now I know in Pandan Antique. He doesn't live in Pandan Antique, but because in Pandan Antique, there's a big group of expats there. And this guy is a Filipino guy, but somehow he's selling fresh milk. We're talking fresh out of the cow. So I don't know, or he must have a few cows, a dairy farm or something in Pandan. But I belong to a group. I belong to like a Facebook messenger group, and it's called like Fresh Milk Group or something. And he'll drive to Pandan Antiques, I think about an hour away. And the guys in Pandan, I want 4 liters. I want 5 liters. They're like stocking up on fresh milk. So somebody was smart, man. Somebody was smart and figured out that there's a market here if you want to do fresh milk here. Lucita, good morning, Gino. Hey, good morning, my good friend in Maine. Have a blessed day, Lucita. Have a blessed day. Hope all is well. All is well, Lucita. Lowell, hello, Pinay Heart. Pinay Heart, you can get in nicer groceries like Marketplace, Landers, and even healthy options. Oh yeah, man. More and more of those things, right, Fortune? If you want the high end, kind of like the same in the US, where you want that fancy high-end organic and all that's becoming available there. Maybe not here in Aklan province, but if you live in Manila, if you live in Cebu City, Davao City, I'm sure if you live in Iloilo City, that is available to you. That is, if you want like Australian beef, fresh Australian beef. Heck, if you want like Japanese Kobe beef, I know there's a market for that. There's people that buy that stuff. I take almond milk every day. All right, this facts. All right. I've had it. I tried it. I like them all. I like almond milk. I like oat milk. I like regular milk. So I just kind of move around. Like when I go down the aisle, I just look at it. Okay, I'm gonna have a couple of these this time. I kind of like rotate around. I'm the only milk drinker. I noticed. It's like Leanna's not a milk drinker. Dazzle's not a milk drinker. So when I buy milk, I'm the only one drinking it. Jokano, morning. Lowell Baluz, Hannah, Pinay Heart, Levi, Colonel, Lucita, and thank you so much, everyone, because like I love when I read these names and everybody knows everybody. I really like that, man. It's like it's a good feeling that we built like a nice community here, that we know each other, right? We see each other in other people's channel. We see each other at Belusa's channel, at Colonel's channel, at James and Karen's channel. I like that. I like that when we're there, we're also saying hi over there. It's like I think that's really cool. Pinay Heart, have you joined ADHD Society of the Philippines? Hannah, hi Joe, Pinay. Wow, Kuya Fortune, I am not familiar with any of those groceries you have mentioned, but that I'm glad to know. How about apple juice? My son loves apple juice. The apple juice that I've seen here, pretty much the same apple juice, like in a can, in a plastic container. There's a whole aisle here in the grocery, like a SM Cherry and Save More. You can pretty much eat all the juice you can imagine, from apple juice, cranberry juice, pomegranate juice. There's even like broccoli juice. There's aloe vera juice. I mean, all kinds of juice that I mean, I'm sure you got to check. I always like check the things, make sure the ingredients are, aren't harmful, right? Or too much sugar, too much sugar on some juices. But the Philippines is not behind when it comes to things like that. It's like whatever you're used to having in the U.S., maybe not all makes it down here, but pretty much there's some kind of substitute. And it's not just products from America. There's a lot of products here now from Canada. There's a brand that I often see it, and I know it's made in Canada. Also, Tesco. I think Tesco made in England. There's a lot of products sold here made in Canada, made in England, made in Australia, made in New Zealand. So it's not just American products. That's here because they gotta sell their stuff, man. And Filipinos, man, Filipinos got this obsession. Most Filipinos that I know got this obsession with imported. The minute you mention imported, ooh, it's imported. They just feel like products from overseas, products from other countries are better than products in the Philippines. It's a Filipino mindset. I've had that mindset since I was little. When I was a little kid, growing up in the Philippines in the 70s, when we get like a balikbayan box or we got a package coming from the US and we open it and the chocolates are like Hershey. Wow, Hershey, Kit Kat. We're like so excited, because it's like, it's imported. So that carries even to this day. It holds a lot, not just food, food, but even products from overseas. They're coveted more here in the Philippines than the local Philippine products. Like even Dazzle, when she goes to Ukay, Dazzle doesn't go Ukay shopping to like where the Filipino goods are or Chinese goods. She goes to specific to the Ukay that sells American products because she likes the American brands like Old Navy, Aeropostale, the brands that are in America that she's never seen it. She's never been to America, but she knows it now because of the Ukay. They actually call it like a American bale, big bales or bigger than balikbayan box. They got it like strapped tight. And then when they cut it open, it like poof, it like pops out, and there'll be like shorts, jackets, t-shirts, shoes from America. Sometimes coming from Goodwill, sometimes coming from Goodwill in the U.S. But those are highly coveted here in the Philippines. Any products that comes from the United States. Fortune, another doctor is Dr. Maria Veronica Relosa, but she's in Makati Medical Center. Yeah, and thank you for that, Fortune. Pinay Heart, I know she's really interested in that. And that's what I said to Pinay Heart yesterday in the live stream. Man, you got Fortune here, man. You're all set. Anything you need, with doctors, with needs for your son, Fortune will know, can help you with it. Good morning, Lucita from Fortune. Joe, hello, Fortune. Pinay Heart, ADHD Society in Facebook. I think I visited that group before. All right. And even here in the province, Pinay Heart, because my neighbor here, her kid has autism. And even here in the province, his kid goes to Calibo, to a special school in Calibo, gets private tutors here. So it's not just in Manila that's available. The thing here in the Philippines, there's a lot of people like my relative. I have one niece. She graduated from University of the Philippines in Diliman. She does it. She's like a special education. She studied occupational therapy at UP Diliman. So that's what she does in Manila. She actually works for a company in Florida. So she's actually gone to Florida and gotten, how they send for continuing education. She actually went to Florida, and then but she's working here in Manila. So it's available here. It's like there's really not a lot of things that are not available in the Philippines. And if anything, I think once you get here, Pinay Heart, you're gonna realize that they probably care more and more, got connection with people, because Filipinos are just kind people, man. It's like it's not about the money for them. They take a lot of pride in what they're doing. Sometimes in the U.S., a lot of people. I have experienced it. I've seen it. I worked 27 years in the medical field in the U.S. People get into the medical field in the U.S. because of the money. But their heart is not really with the medical field. There's doctors and nurses that I've worked in the past where sometimes I kind of wonder, man, I think you chose the wrong career because you're not a caring person. You treat people like a number, there's no compassion, there's no empathy, there's no heart in you. You're kind of cold, But hey, some doctors are good that way, right? Because they're all scientific. They're all scientific. Hi, Levi. Good AM. Fortune to Joe. Awesome. So most of the doctors that you have mentioned were not too far from Imus. Oh, yeah, yeah. And a lot of the doctors here, Pinay Heart, a lot of these doctors, they travel abroad to get their continuing education. A lot of them go to the US. A lot of them are certified at worldwide. So it's not like people always kind of down the Philippines medical care. They're just not going to the right hospitals. There's hospitals here in the provinces. The doctors never left the province. They're like a rural doctor. Of course there's those, but man, my doctors in Iloilo City, man, my Dr. Palik, my oncologist, he goes to Europe to teach. He goes to seminars in where he's the speaker. So I know people always down the Philippines as far as medical care, but man, we got some good doctors here in the Philippines, man. Fortune, yes. Pinay Heart. We may need to rent a place around the area when we move there. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect, Pinay Heart. You just rent. If you're having work done in the house, or some people when they come here, they're thinking about buying, building. I always tell them rent first, man. Rent for the first year because you might not like it. It's like a lot of people that leave the Philippines. Filipinos, they've been gone from the Philippines 20, 30 years. The Philippines is different from 20 to 30 years ago. It's not the same Philippines anymore. So you might not even like it when you're here. So to me, it just makes sense to rent for a year, see how you like it, see if you can adjust back to the Philippines because it's not as easy as people think. When you've been Americanized, when you've been living in the U.S. for 20, 30 years, things that you used to be able to tolerate when you lived here in the Philippines, when you got used to the American lifestyle, everything convenient, everything in order, there's organization, there's rules and regulations, here in the Philippines and some areas here like Aklan province, this is the wild, wild west, there's rules and regulations, all that kind of go out the window. It's that might be hard to adjust to, waiting in line, the slow pace of life here, not as easy as people think, to adjust to. Hey, Daniel, my brother in Jacksonville, Florida, man. Daniel's counting down, man. He's going to be getting out of the U.S. next month in March. He's leaving America next month, headed here to Asia, man. And soon going to be part of the posse here, the Panay posse here in Calibo. Can't wait, Daniel. Can't wait. Daniel, how are ya? How are ya? Lucita. It's 15 degrees here in Maine with a low of 0. Yeah, I know Maine. I know Northeast United States. I know that's a cold area. Snow and my friend Leo, my friend Bob. They're always Bob has he's got a push machine that's like a snow, removes snow in his yard. I always see videos of him doing that. And Leo, he's got a swimming pool and it's frozen. His swimming pool is frozen. Pinay Heart, we have the closest SM Bukandala. When I left the Philippines, it was really new. When I visited, can't find a place to park. I can't get used to that. Get used to that, Pinay Heart, because same thing at SM City Iloilo. No matter how big that parking lot is, because the malls, people go to the malls. It's like when they go to the mall here in the Philippines, they spend the whole day at the mall. They'll get to the mall at like 10 a.m. when the mall opens. They won't leave till it's dark. That's just how Filipinos are. They'll eat lunch there. They'll drink coffee in the morning, eat lunch, watch a movie, go shopping, you eat dinner, and then it's time to go home. It's like people spend the whole day at the mall here. Daniel, tonight will be 22 degrees Fahrenheit. I was going to need 2 to 3 more days to vacate my apartment. Starting to feel my age. LOL. Well, Daniel, soon enough you'll be done, man. That's the only. Keep looking at that goal, the end goal. Soon enough you'll be gone. You can start a new life here in the Philippines. That's gonna be more relaxed, more time for yourself, time for you to do things, different pace of life, slower pace of life. Spend more time in nature. You're gonna experience that when you come here. Joe Cano, it hit 45 today. Almost started sweating on my walk with the dogs. Thought about taking off my jacket. All right, I remember that, man. Even when I was in Japan, in Japan at Misawa Air Base, Japan, we would measure snow by the feet. By the feet, a lot of snow in Aomori Prefecture. And I remember, there were times when I was a runner. There were times where I can even wear shorts and in the beginning I'll wear a jacket, but the minute I start wearing them up, I'll remove my jacket and I'll tie it to my waist and I'm running around in t-shirt and shorts in the snow because your body just warms up, when you start going. Mr. Short Timer, Daniel, Mr. Short Timer, I have to go, but I'll be right back. All right, Hannah. Taking a break as I get my daily dose of Dazzle TV. All right, Daniel. Thank you so much. Good AM, Daniel. Air Force nurse. I know, Derek. It's like that's not out of the question. I told Deanna, focus on becoming a nurse. After she graduates here in Calibo, she'll get her experience here in Calibo, St. Gabriel Hospital, Asia Pacific. Get 2 years of experience as a nurse here in the Philippines, get all the licensing, the NCLEX, the English proficiency. We'll take care of that, and then we'll pick a country where Leanna wants to become a nurse. That's not, she has the support. That's the biggest part of becoming a nurse. It's like, the expense to become a nurse. And then once you become a nurse, it's not as easy as people think, like, it's time to go to Canada, time to go to the US. If you're, that costs money. There's agencies that will help you do it, but those agencies aren't free. And also a lot of those agencies, those nurses that go to the US, those agencies take a cut of their salary during the contract. They might get you a job in the US for 2 or 3 years on a contract, but they're getting a piece. You're getting a piece of your salary. So it's a business. It's a business. Ramil, Raleigh got a dry spell, so hardly any snow, but ice does build up. And I remember Ramil. Oh, my dog wants to go out. Totoy wants to go out. Go, Toy. Go, Toy. I remember when I lived in Texas, even in San Antonio, Texas, ice is very dangerous, man. It might not be snow, but ice is, if anything, is more dangerous than snow. Because, like, I know in Texas, in San Antonio, we had an ice storm one year. So many accidents on the road because, people in Texas don't know how to drive in ice or snow. They're not used to that in San Antonio. I remember, man, they shut down the base. Everybody was hold quarter. You're not supposed to leave your house because, like, they had so many wrecks that one year I was in San Antonio because of ice. Raining in Iloilo now. All right. Thank you, Colonel, for the update. I'm back, Hannah. Haha, sprinkler and marshmallow. And the coffee, I know, sprinkles, man. I was like, sprinkles? It's like tiny red and green sprinkles. And I guess because it's the holidays, sprinkles, and then marshmallow. I was like, man. What a marketing. Maybe next time they will add cotton candy. Would not surprise me. Candy is very popular here. Gino, not sure how Air Force is, but the U.S. Army requires U.S. citizenship to be an officer. Lots of film doctors and nurses in the Army. All are officers. Oh, okay. I have, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how it works, especially now. I'm really not sure if United States citizenship is required to become an officer. It makes sense, right? It makes sense because they're an officer. I mean, RN nurses, yes. Ted, good AM, Gino and all. Gino, nursing is great career, but what you have to deal with every day can be rough. You might want to consider a pharmacist for your sister-in-law. And I tell Leanna that, it's like if she knows, I tell her about, dealing with like, patient, you're going to be dealing with like stuff that if you're squeamish, nursing is not the thing, but she's not squeamish. Leanna knows how to gut fish. She knows how to like kill a chicken. She's not squeamish at all. It's like she grew up in the Philippines, and so I'm not worried about her. I'm not gonna worry about her like cleaning a patient or cleaning patients, things like that. Bodily fluids and all that. I don't, Leanna's like pretty tough. She's pretty tough. Robinson's grocery too. Yeah, Robinson's. We're gonna get a Robinson's. We're gonna get a Robinson's here, Derek. The mayor of Calibo already contracted with Robinson's there, so they're gonna build a Robinson's mall. That's gonna be the biggest mall here in Aklan Province. Biswak, Gino, don't forget durian coffee. I've not had that. Man. I've not had durian coffee. Let's go, Toy. Let's go. Let's go. I have not seen that. I have not seen durian coffee, man. But I'm sure it's like they get creative here now with coffee. They're adding different flavors to coffee. If you can ignore, I've never had a problem with durian. I know it's a strong smell. I've smelled durian, but you know durian when it's around. You're like, ooh, I smell something. But I've never had problem with durian. Good AM, Ted LV from Fortune. Oh wow, durian. I have to keep trying that durian. I have not tried them when I was in the Philippines. Good AM, Fortune from Ted. Bizwax. Try the Puyat durian in Davao around July to some time frame. As long as Filipinas don't start copying the dating and marriage culture from the US. As far as that, maybe more like in the cities, Joe, like maybe in Metro Manila, because Metro Manila, they're exposed to like more foreigners, more Western type of living. But here in Panay Island, I don't see it ever happening. Even in Iloilo City, that's the biggest city here in Panay Island. The Ilonggos, the people here, they're not like absorbing that Western lifestyle. It's still traditional here, especially Antique province where Fortune is, Aklan province here, in even Capiz where Mike and Kat and Laura are. It's like, I don't think that's going to change here. That's why more people are coming here. More people are coming to Panay Island. More people are going to Negros Island, where Bacolod, where Dumaguete, because these places, they're not going to change. More and more expats are moving in, but expats are still a small number. It's not like, of course, what you see on YouTube, it makes it looks like there's like half of the people living in Dumaguete. It seems like it's expats, but it's not. It's still majority Filipinos living in that area. Same thing in Iloilo. It's like the foreigners in Iloilo, maybe not even 5%. It's still majority Filipinos, so that's not going to change. I bought frozen durian from Costco. I was surprised my husband was able to eat them all. I couldn't, LOL, that's funny. Stay away from eating bats. For sure. I've never eaten a bat. I don't, it's like I don't think I could see myself eating a bat. I don't know where I would get it. I don't know where I would get a bat. Good morning, y'all, from Ray in the Philippines. Hi, Ray. Hey, Gino, Aklan Dairy Box has fresh Oh, let me take a picture. I gotta find that place, Captain Ron, because I'm always all about fresh milk. If I can get fresh milk here in Auckland, this is the first I've heard of this. Thank you for that, man. Let me take a picture that way. I've never heard of this place. Aklan Dairy Box. Aklan Dairy Box. All right, then I'll try it, man. Carabao milk. I'm all for it, man. Hannah. Hi, Ray. Hi, Pinay Heart. Hey, James and Karen. Good morning, James and Karen. I saw your guys' activity in Boracay, man. So I'm not sure whether you guys are home already, but it was fun. I know you guys had a great time. Boracay is always fun, man. That's my happy place on earth, man. Hi, James and Karen, Hannah, Jim, Pinay Heart. Hi, Captain Ron. Hello, Hannah. Good morning, James. Hi. Hey, Ray and James. Good morning, Joe. James and Karen from in the house from the Colonel. I like my fresh cow and goat milk. Yeah, I'm a milk lover, man. I don't care if it's a goat, cow, carabao, whatever, man. I could drink milk, man. I just enjoy drinking milk. We don't have to go to. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You don't have to go to town to get the milk. Hi, Pinay. When are you guys moving back home? Pinay, Bizwak, Pinar, tell Ozzy Osbourne to stay away from the bats. I remember that. I remember Ozzy, man, with the bat. Good afternoon and happy Sunday from Seattle, Washington State. It's raining here and cloudy. How are you, Bro Gino? Enjoying your latest Boracay? Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. And we'll be back. Hopefully I'll feel better. Hopefully I'll be feeling better here soon. But towards the middle of this month, we'll be in Boracay again. For the months of like February, March, April, May, we're always in Boracay, man. It's like I can't get enough of Boracay. I love my days there. It's 4 p.m. here Sunday afternoon. All right. Haha, Biz, got to hunt him down. Good AM, Ray. Good AM, Captain Ron. Fortune. Good AM, James. Still in Boracay. Hi, Captain Ron. Good morning, Fortune. Good morning, Fortune for Captain Ron. Carabao milk will put hair on your chest. I remember having Carabao milk when I was young, Captain Ron. Goat milk and Carabao milk was like popular in my province. I come from Bulacan province. And I remember, this was when I was a kid, maybe like from 5 years old till like 12 till I left the U.S. They used to feed me this for breakfast. It's a bowl, like a plate of cold rice, right? Cold rice. And they would put goat milk on it or Carabao milk and put salt. And that was my breakfast in the province. I remember it, and I can still taste it because I went back to the province, to Bulacan, back in 2022. And my cousins, they served me like goat milk on that morning. I remember the taste when I was young. And I loved it, because it was kind of like my Filipino cereal back in the 70s, man. Like cold rice, goat milk, or Carabao milk, and a little bit of salt. That was my cereal growing up in the Philippines. Bizwax. I put there. Will it work on my scalp? Will it work on my scalp? That's funny. Good question. Haha, Bizwax. Bats are safe from Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, I remember. Rest in peace, Ozzy, man. I remember when he passed away. I saw that on Facebook. Hey, Castaway Trip, Michael S., my good friend and my brother from another in Dumaguete City. Pinay Heart, Castaway. Good morning, Pinay Heart. Seattle, Washington. My top 4 retirement places as of today, February. That's nice. That's good, man. Number 4, Cebu. Number 3, Subic. Number 2, CDO. Number 1, What do you think? Awesome, man. Good choices. Iloilo City. Uh, if you go to Iloilo City, this is your number one. You won't leave, man. You're not gonna find a better place, in my opinion. In my opinion, there's not a better city in the Philippines than Iloilo City. And it's not overrun by expats. Don't believe that it's overrun by expats. It's not. You'll see expats in Iloilo City, but it's not overrun. Bizwax, Joe Cano. Oh yeah, Joe. Forgot about that. Pinay Heart. One thing that really changed my reaction was seeing kids on the streets. We Filipinos are used to seeing that there, but not in the US. Not in the US. Ozzy in heaven now. Yes, rest in peace, Ozzy. Rest in peace. But he might come down here to visit. Captain Ron. Oh, I forget that. All right. Captain Ron. What's the island with the big fruit bats? Ozzy. They at one time, man, even Boracay Island had those giant fruit bats. Now, because of all the development, I think the bat population in Boracay has been reduced. But they're trying to preserve it. You know how it is. There's always like people preserving, and it's good that they preserve it. But at one time, I remember they had those giant fruit bats in Boracay. The last place I've seen the giant fruit bat was in Bacolod, in Mambukal hot springs. There's a hot springs in near Bacolod that, because it's close to volcano Mount Canlaon, natural hot water, and while you're like laying there on the chilling on the hot water, you look up and there's like gigantic fruit bats hanging on the trees. That's the last time I saw gigantic fruit bats here. What's up, Pinoy Pasi? When is the next meet and greet? Where's gonna be the location? I haven't thought about it yet, so I'm thinking when Daniel arrives. We're gonna have like a meet and greet, that way we can welcome Daniel. Daniel's gonna be the next member arriving. So when Daniel comes in, I was thinking maybe even fishing, like Daniel's a big fisherman. So maybe a meet and greet at Loola's Fish Farm when Daniel gets here. Bizwax, Captain Ron. If Ozzy ever visit, he'll feel at home. One Fort Bat Sanctuary, Samal Island, Davao. All right. Isn't it someone throw a bat on Ozzy during a concert? Yeah. Seattle. I was stationed in Japan. All right. Kadena Air Base. All right. Yokosuka. I know all those places. And I was stationed at Misawa Air Base in northern Japan. But I was able to visit most of the places that you listed. I used to go temporary duty to Yokota Air Base, and then I got to see some, and then I've been to Kadena Air Base too. That was one thing nice when I was stationed in Pacific Air Command, in the Air Force. PACAF is what's called Pacific Air Command. I was stationed at Misawa. I was stationed at Suwon Air Base in Korea, and I was stationed at Clark in the Philippines. Those were my 3 PACAF assignments. And what was nice during that time, it was so easy to hop. Space age travel was so easy back then. I don't know how it is now because there's no more space age travel here in the Philippines. The closest I can catch a space age now would be either going to Kadena, to Sembawang in Singapore, or Anderson Air Force Base, Guam. If I can go to any of those 3 places, then I can catch the hop and make it all the way to the US if I wanted to on military hop. He thought it was a fake bat. All right. Rich. All right. Derek. Registered nurses don't do the dirty jobs. That's done by... Yes, I know, right? I know, Derek. I've worked at hospitals, it's like... but you'll still see stuff, it's not like you can't avoid. And there's times that you're going to be required to help, I'm sure. But you're correct. There's like there's nursing assistants, CNAs, certified nursing assistants, depending on the hospital you work, of course. Empty bedpans, yes. Belus, smash the likes. But I don't tell Leanna that. I don't tell Leanna that with nursing. I want her to think that those are the things that she might see. That she might see like, bodily fluids. She got a glove up. She's got a face mask up. I want her to think that. I don't want her to be squeamish at all because I want her to become a good nurse. I want her to be able to tackle any of that. No, don't be scared of blood, right? And she's not. She's not. Leanna has killed the chicken before and and pulled all the feathers and all that. So she's not squeamish at all. And I know some kids are, right? Some kids, the minute they see blood, they go, it's blood, Leanna's not like that at all. Let me have some of my calamansi, man. Some of calamansi. I've been talking a lot here, so let me, my throat is, I haven't even hit my topic, man. I can't go through all the comments. There's so many comments. But I do have a topic. Trust me, I do have a topic. I wanted to talk about China and the Philippines. How that relationship, what's going on with like China and the Philippines right now. Always going to be issues. Always going to be issues with the Chinese here in the Philippines. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I just remember the picture of him biting the head off. Yeah, I think that that's it made Ozzy. He was notorious for that, right? He became more popular because Ozzy was awesome anyway, but that kind of like people that weren't Ozzy Osbourne fans, they kind of associate the bat the thing happening with the bat and Ozzy. I threw on stage, got sick after he did that. Seattle, Washington, we will welcome, support you guys. And if Leanna wants to work here in Seattle, Washington, we are near Air Force Base. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I know in Seattle, my friend Stevie's actually back in Seattle now. He left, I think last week he left Caticlan. It was good that Stevie got to experience. He was really thankful. He said, definitely will be back sooner than later. He wants to really come back. He just got to work out, make sure he has enough money. Stevie's not getting a big Social Security check, so he's got to he's still working. So he's got to figure that out. I told him, it's like, but at least now it's not just a dream anymore. He was able to come here. He met some friends in Caticlan. He sees the life available for him here now in the Philippines. So I know he'll be back. He'll be back this year. It would not surprise me if he'll be back this year. He didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave the Aklan province. Bat, yes, bat. They sell fresh bats in China. Pinay hard. Forget these fresh bats. Keep them in the cave. Keep them in the cave. Good morning. Hello, my friend in Angeles City, Pampanga. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Seattle, Washington, say it. 3 top hospital, University, Washington, Virginia. Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, I know Washington State that they got good hospitals. Flyboy, is it true Bank of America is in the Philippines now? They might have something, but it's not the same Bank of America. I'm thinking if in Metro Manila they might have a branch, but it's not going to be. It's not readily available. I'll do more research about it, Flyboy, but Fortune might know about it more, but I don't hear a lot of Bank of America here in the Philippines. Was able to ride Space A at Sugi to Okinawa back in 2019. Some of my friends were also able to ride Space Singapore. Yep, Sembawang. You can go to Sembawang Naval Base in Singapore and Korea. Back then when we were stationed at Sugi. Is Philippines for China or US? All right, I'm gonna hit that topic. Because that was going to be my topic today, man. I was trying to discuss China and Philippine relations. For now, definitely 100% right now, the Philippines is with the U.S. for now, because things change. Things change here in the Philippines. I remember before this presidency, and I'm not gonna get political. I don't do politics or anything like that. But before the present presidential administration, the Marcos administration, there always been more pro-American. The father, President Marcos, back in the when he was exiled out of the Philippines, when they were, people power back in 1986, when the people was gonna take over, go to storm Malacanang and get the president. America provided exile for the Marcos family. They stayed in Hawaii. They were in exile in Hawaii. And then were able to come back, and now the son is the president. So for me, just my opinion, they've always been Marcos family, and now because President Marcos, they've always been pro-America. The previous administration, I would not say, Duterte was pro-China or pro-American. Just my opinion again, I'm not political. I don't get involved with politics here in the Philippines, but I think he was just playing both sides. He was trying to get the best deal for the Philippines. Political, right? Political game. He's playing American side, Chinese side, but more leaning to the Chinese. So there's no telling what's going to happen here in the Philippines. The next election, whoever becomes the president of the Philippines next, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't have a crystal ball whether the Philippines will remain like the ally of the U.S. Always had a long relationship of U.S. and Filipino as far as being allies. The Philippines was American territory from 1898 till World War II. And even after Philippines got its independence after World War II, the American bases were here in the Philippines till 1991-92, till the bases got kicked out. But I'm going to talk about it because right now there's issues going on with the Philippines and China. I saw this article. It says here, Palawan town declares Chinese envoy persona non grata over embassy remarks. Basically, the Palawan town, they just said they don't like China because there's a big issue right now. The Philippines, there's a place in Palawan where we get our natural gas. The natural gas that the Philippines get in Palawan, let me find the name of the place here. It's called Malampaya. So it provides not only natural gas, they use the natural gas, provides electricity here in the Philippines. Well, the Philippines just made a big discovery. The big discovery, they found like this a big supply of natural gas where Malampaya is located. So big find for the Philippines because for the future, it's gonna improve we won't have to buy, the Philippines won't have to buy natural gas or lessen our dependence from other nations. So big find. President Marcos, the current president, he made an announcement. And of course, China's not happy because that area, even though it's in Palawan, it's within the 200, I guess, anything, if you got a land area, anything 200 miles from your nearest beach, that belongs to your country. Well, we all know that China, they claim everything. They claim everything here in Southeast Asia, away from China. They have what's called like that 9-dash line. So basically, they feel like everything in South China Sea is theirs. That's how China's always been like that. They're the bully. China is the bully here in Southeast Asia. Well, with this find, of course, they're like interested in this discovery of the Philippines for this natural gas. That's why China's been building in the South China Sea. They've been building like artificial structures all across the South China Sea, and they're putting military bases, they're putting all that because they want control of the South China Sea. That area where Malampaya, the natural gas, is near Palawan. It's actually in the Philippine Economic Zone. And it's part of, we call it here in the Philippines, and you can Google map it, it's called the West Philippine Sea. But of course, China, they don't look at it as the West Philippine Sea. Like I said, everything in the area, they consider South China Sea. That's what China. So that's the big, China's interested, and that's always been China. To me, they're not really interested in the Philippines. They're interested on all our natural resources, natural gas, oil, our fish. They're not interested about the Filipino people. They're interested about our natural resources. And of course, because now the Philippines is more aligned with the Americans right now, they're doing the balikatan exercises, shoulder to shoulder exercise, military exercises, been going on for over 20 years now. There's EDCA, Enhanced Defense Agreement between America, and America's basically said they will protect the Philippines from China, from anything China aggression. We are allies. So, but you know how politics are. It's like that's why I don't get involved with politics, because for right now, the Philippines is aligned more with the Americans, not with China. And to me, it's smart. It's smart for the Philippines anyway. Just my personal opinion, to side more with the United States, just because I wouldn't trust China with anything. It's like when China, they had that Belt and Road Initiative. They were trying to help the Philippines. They were saying that they're building bridges here in the Philippines. They were building roads here in the Philippines. I have not seen a completed one. I have not seen. Maybe somebody here knows. Maybe Fortune knows. I have not seen a completed Chinese project here in the Philippines. What China was doing with the Philippines is the same thing they're doing in Africa, Brazil, and all the countries they're involved with. They're saying they're helping you, but really it's loans. They're trying to get your country in debt. That way you can start giving up your natural resources to China. So I don't think China's a good partner. Just my opinion. I'm not a China hater or anything, but I wouldn't trust China. It's like I would trust America before I trust China. So that was the first step was like that Palawan. The Palawan they said that persona non grata, but the president of the Philippines, just this past week, this thing came out Saturday, January 31. BBM, right here, it says BBM. BBM is like Bongbong Marcos. He's the current president. He said, no persona non grata versus China envoy. So basically, there was a big, because Palawan town said that, there was a big thing here in the Philippines saying that, the Chinese, they were going to well, if you're persona non grata, we're going to remove our embassy in the Philippines and all that. But, Bongbong, your current president, he's a diplomat. He's a president, he doesn't want to break relations with China, so he announced that he doesn't consider China the diplomats, Chinese diplomats here in the Philippines. He does not consider them persona non grata. Persona non grata basically says you're not welcome. Basically that's what it is. You're not welcome here. So the president of the president of the Philippines, he's saying that China is still welcome. And you know how that is. That's political. I even watched Trump. Even though we know China is the enemy, China is the world enemy as far as everything, not just military, not just economics. Even Trump, he talks about China he's gonna make a deal with China because it's politics. You can't just even you got, what is that? Keep your enemies closer, right? You got to keep your enemies closer. You got to keep an eye on them. China spies on everybody in the world, so we got to keep an eye on them too. We got to spy on China too, man. But the thing that always upset a lot of Filipinos here in the Philippines, if you're here in the Philippines for many many years now, they've always harassed like the fishermen that are fishing in the West Philippine Seas. China Coast Guard, China military, they're shooting them with water cannons. They're ramming their ships to like Philippine Coast Guard boats. That's been happening the past few years, and a lot, the sentiment for most Filipinos. I'm boots on the ground. I see comments from people here. I belong on different groups. The sentiment is just not good as far as like the feeling between Filipinos and Chinese. I don't even see a lot of Chinese anymore. Here in Aklan province, we used to get at least a million for the whole year, a million tourists from China coming here to Aklan province, mostly to Boracay Island. I don't see many. I mean, there's still some, because there's a lot of Filipino Chinese people. There's a lot of Chinese that are Filipino citizens because like it's a big population here in the Philippines, Filipino Chinese, there's Chinatown in Manila, so some of our richest people here in the Philippines, I think that out of the top 10 richest Filipinos are mostly Chinese, Filipino Chinese. So you're not going to break that relationship between China and the Philippines. That's why I'm saying, even though China is doing like shady things in the South China Sea, bullying Filipinos and all that, there's always going to be a relationship between China and Filipinos. It's hard to find a Filipino here in the Philippines. I know in Metro Manila, that's not related to like a Filipino Chinese, so Pinay, all right. I'm back. Ray is back. All right, Ray. I'm trying to read the comments again because I don't want to get too behind. Bryce said hi. My Philippines is an ally of the U.S. Yes, definitely. Flyboy, it's the Bank of America Commercial Division. All right, commercial. That's what I'm thinking too. It's more like Bank of America, like corporation style. It's not the Bank of America where you're thinking I'm popping my ATM and I'm getting my cash at the ATM. I've not seen that. I've not seen that here in the Philippines. It depends on the leader. Yeah, Pinay Heart. That's why I said, for now, the Philippines is an ally with the U.S. because that's what I'm seeing with my two eyes. I can see Marcos family. They've always been pro-American, but next election, you don't know who's going to get elected the next election. I heard General MacArthur owns stock in San Miguel, but would not surprise me. Derek. Persona non grata, you're not welcome there. Yeah. That's why the president says, because the Chinese, they were threatening to close the Chinese embassy in the Philippines and threatening to leave. So, you got to be a diplomat. When you're a politician, you got to, even though the China might be your enemy at the South China Sea, there are conflicts happening. You don't want to just sever relationships, right? It's not that easy. And I think most people understand that politics is a complicated thing. It's like there's a lot of investments here in the Philippines. That's Chinese investments here. If you walked into a condo building in Manila, you will see the condo organization chart. And the owner of the buildings are all Chinese names. Yeah, like I said, here in the Philippines, the most richest Filipinos are normally Filipino Chinese. You'll see names like Tan, Tan. You'll see names like Ang. Even like people that own San Miguel, people that own Jollibee, people that own, most of them are Filipino Chinese. They're a big big Chinatown. Binondo in Manila. Said hi. Good morning. Hey, Bill Meyer. Good morning, Bill Meyer. Prayers, Bill Meyer. Hi, Sergino. Watching here from Cavite City. All right, Cavite City. Thank you for watching. Hi, Bri. Michael M, my brother in Northern California. Thank you for joining the live stream. Ooh, it's starting to warm up here, man. The sun is up. I'm not gonna show you because I do not want to lose the connection. I gotta take off my sweatshirt here. My sweatshirt from Emilio. Emilio, thank you for the sweatshirt, brother. You know, it's like because it's starting to warm up. You know, it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to warm up here once the sun is up, and that sun is bright. Earlier this morning there was like light rain, but let me look at the temperature now, man, because it is warming up here pretty fast. Let me just look at the AccuWeather. AccuWeather. Right now, 25 degrees Celsius. So thinking about 77, 78. Feels warmer, man. The sun is pretty intense when the sun comes up here. Skating Geezer. I'm not up to date on Philippine-China relations. I'm for peace above everything else. It would be prudent to be wary of China, but I don't think negotiating would be a bad thing. Yeah, to me, you know, I know a little bit more because I was in the military. Even during my days at Misawa Air Base, Japan, I saw things that China was doing even back then in the early, from 2000 to 2003. I mean, China was testing their missiles. We would have missiles flying over Japan, you know, and land in the Pacific Ocean because they were testing their missiles. And every time that happens, our whole base, we go on alert, you know. So you just, you know, like you said, it's not a bad thing to negotiate, right? That's why I'm saying, you know, it's like I see it, even with Marcos, even with Trump, you know, keep your enemies closer. You know, keep your friends close, but your enemies, you want to keep them closer. You want to keep an eye on your enemy. And I don't think it's a bad idea to keep an eye on China. Yeah. That's why I try to stay up. I always see all the things happen in the West Philippine Sea, especially the big discovery of natural gas. I'm sure that pissed off China because they anything that gets discovered in that area in the West Philippine Sea, China feels like they own it. They own it. They actually fish that area, even though it's in the Philippine Economic Zone. You see Chinese ships all the time. I see reports all the time of Chinese ships, like big ships, like big fishing boats, like taking like resources here in the Philippines. That's why Filipinos gets upset with that. I can't blame it, you know, because they have no respect for territory. Because in their minds, it all belongs to them. It all belongs to them. But you know, you can't be so adversarial, even if they're doing that. You know, it's politics. You gotta like still work around them. It's there's a lot of industry here in the Philippines that relies on the Chinese. A lot of investments from Chinese here. So I understand that. It's a game that you gotta play, but you gotta keep an eye on them for sure. When their approach toward Filipino fishermen has been aggressive. And that's the biggest problem, Pinay Heart, because you know, that's what most Filipinos here in the Philippines, that's the news that they see. You know, they see harassment from the Chinese military and Chinese Coast Guard, water cannons, ramming their ships in Filipino boats, you know. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's like this past week, though, the Chinese Coast Guard were the heroes when they rescued. Yeah, I did see that. They did rescue. There could have been Filipino seamen that could have died out in the middle of the ocean, and the Chinese Coast Guard helped them. So, Renz, good day, Renz. Quezon City and Davao have a large Chinatown. Yeah, even Iloilo City's got a nice Chinatown also. Chinese New Year. Yeah, in a few weeks. Here in Calibo, February 15th to the 17th. There's a little China area here, not town, the China street, a China street. And they're going to have a celebration for 3 days during the Chinese New Year. The largest shopping malls is owned by Chinese SM malls and other small malls in the Philippines. Yeah, it's the thing. It's like the Filipino Chinese or Chinese Filipinos. They own a big chunk of the Philippines. Their businesses, land. So that's why. It's like I don't think you can be so adversarial with China. You just got to keep an eye on them. Now, if they ever cross and attack Taiwan, we're going to be in support of Taiwan for sure. We're part of the alliance that's preventing that from happening. Maybe China is trying a different approach now that can improve its relationship with the Philippines if the aggression stops. Yeah, diplomats, I'm sure, they could be trying, China could be trying anything, but, I think for me anyway, my opinion, it's like, I wouldn't trust China, man. I would trust the United States more before I trust China. Exchange rate, hey Flyboy, 58.84. I said it earlier, 58. That's why I know it on my head. 58.84 exchange rate today. That hoodie looks familiar. Thank you, Emilio, man. I'm getting plenty of use for the hoodie, man, because for some reason, January and the beginning, in the early morning, especially when I do my morning walks, man, it's in the 70s, like low 70s. So perfect for like a sweatshirt. Hey, Raymond King, long time no see. Thank you, Raymond. I haven't seen you in a while. God bless, my brother. Word back, LOL. Seattle, Washington, all the biggest hotel, condo in the Philippines owned by Chinese businessmen. Mega World, Shangri-La. Oh yeah, it's like I said, it would not surprise me if the top 10 richest people in the Philippines is all Chinese Filipino. At one time, I think Manny Villar made the top 10 list, but right now he's having issues. Manny Villar, the guy that owns Camellia, this Camellia in the Philippines. He's under investigation, I think. I'm not going to talk about that because I don't know enough about it, but I did see something that the SEC or something, the Filipino SEC, is under investigation. Rents, BDO buying rate 58.50, selling at 59. All right. Reports are coming out. Something is going on between Xi and his generals. I think so, James, right? I think so. That's been going on now for, I tried to keep up with that. I subscribed to a YouTuber. She's like Chinese. You can tell she's Chinese female. She reports on China. I like her. I forgot her name, but she's always on my feeds. I like watching her because she like reports, doesn't seem like biased, both sides. And for the past year, it seems like there's been something going on. It's hard to really find news about China because how secretive they are. But I know there's been a couple of generals that's been taken out. I'll just leave it at that. When I'm taken out, put that in your interpretation. There's been a few generals that's been taken out of their position in China. Hello, Mr. James Renz. February 16 is the ending of the new year. Snake. Year of the horse. Yeah, I saw that. Year of the horse is 58.85. All right. Rents. Valentine's Day. I see that word that you're saying, Louis, but I don't say that word, man. You can Google the buying and selling via BDO, major bank. Manny Villar and the families, LOL. Yeah. It's like right now I know it's under investigation. They're having issues with the SEC, like if you own like stock, Philippine stock on Villar stock, I guess, or Camellia, whatever, it's on hold. It's on hold. It's under investigation right now. The Epstein files are going to change the world. Raymond King. Yes, my brother Gino, I have been going through some medical issues. Just found out top of my blood cancer. I now, oh, sorry to hear that, Raymond. I figured something was going on, but take care, my friend. I'll be praying for you. Hopefully, you get through all this medical. For me, it's like medical is always going to be an issue with me too. So I just like try to enjoy each day. It's like. Manny Villar's getting hot seat with security. Yes, yes, I saw that. I saw that in the news here. Big issue with the SEC about under-reporting or over-reporting the value and then the stock. That's why the stock, it's been on frozen. The stock for Camellia or Villar stock's been frozen since last year. It's not even trading anymore. Yeah, padding up. So under investigation, not guilty until proven, right? That's what I say. It's like you never know here in the Philippines anyway. When somebody files a case or whatever, of course it makes a big news when the filing or the announcement of like charges and all that, but. You have to wait a long time to to find out what really happened, or if we can find whatever happens, the way things are here. Renz. Chinese New Year. Yes, Chinese New Year. Praying for you, Raymond. Yeah, for sure. We're all praying for you, Raymond. I still love you and Dazzle, Leanna, and Mom. All right, thank you, my brother. Thank you. I know. You're still keeping an eye on, because sometimes I still see your comments and I appreciate it, my brother. But get well, get well. My prayers are with you. It's like it's part of growing old, man. That's the thing about us when we start aging. Unfortunately, diseases, illnesses, they come our way. That's just the way it is. There's no getting around that. That's why I always tell people, man, while you're young, while you can do things, man, do it. It's like don't push off things that you're saying, well, when I'm retired, or 10 years from now, or 15 years from now, or when I retire at 65, or when I retire at 67. Man, it's like that's not guaranteed. That's not guaranteed. And then a lot of times, like I said, when you hit your 50s, the minute you hit your 50s, that check engine light that starts coming on. Things that you never had to worry about, they just start popping. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's like, for me, I'm just grateful that I've lasted this long. It's like I'll turn 60 this year, and to me that's blessing enough, because I know people that didn't make it to 60. I know I have friends. I have military friends. I have people that I was in the military with, and they're not with us anymore. So I know not given to last this long. So I'm just grateful. Yes, my brother, I'm 63 and will be 64 October 25th. All right, Raymond. Get healthy. I'll be praying for you for sure, Raymond. All right, let me see here. I finally caught up, man. That's awesome that I caught up with the comments. And I always try to keep topics now. I just wanted to send my prayers also. There's a Filipina. I saw a video of it. I read a little bit about it. In Bacolod City, the Filipina was 36 years old, married to an American, a Marine, a U.S. Marine, and she got, her husband stabbed her like 63 times, Just want to send my prayers to her and her family. She got kids too, they had kids, so that's so unfortunate that things like that happen. It's just tragic when things like that happen. I don't know enough about the story, but that happened in Bacolod. Not far from us, Bacolod City. Dazzle and I have gone to Bacolod City, so not far from us. I was just like, wow, it's like that's just tragic that happened. So prayers definitely go out to her and her family. And for the kids, I can't just imagine, losing your mom and then your dad now. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in jail or worse here in the Philippines because they're not going to be, they're pretty quick here as far as like justice. It's like if you kill your Filipina spouse, 6 to 3, that's pretty like horrific. He's not gonna be treated nice here. He's gonna more likely spend the rest of the time in jail, or worse, they'll probably execute him here. Alexander, good morning. I read the expats was a retired Marine. I'm not sure if it's retired. I'm hearing conflicting. I'm hearing retired Marine, and then I'm hearing a Marine veteran. But he's a Marine. He was in the Marines in the United States military. I don't know enough about it. And here in the Philippines, even if you Google it, even if you start researching the news, they're so slow. It's not like in the US. If something pop news in the US, media will be all over it, right? You're going to hear so much about it. Here in the Philippines, it's slow. News like that trickles very slow. Part of the investigation too, I'm sure they don't want to keep releasing a lot of information because it's an ongoing investigation. But I just wanted to mention that because that was like, whoa, I was like surprised to hear that. That was just like so tragic. Bilyars are buying farmlands on a lower price from the farmers in Iloilo and selling higher price after they turn it into a subdivision or residential property. Yeah, that's our property. That's exactly Camellia Aklan where I live. This used to be farmland here, and the Villar or Camellia, the corporation, made it into a subdivision. When I moved here to this subdivision, I was house number 6. I was the 6th house built. It was all empty. We didn't even have walls. We didn't have a pool, no basketball court, no guardhouse. When I moved in here, the guardhouse was a tent. The guard was standing on the front of the area there. No guardhouse, just a tent. And he was just standing here and then waving me through. But now there's over 300 homes now. So that's what happens, They buy cheap farmland, make it into a subdivision, build roads, build a sewer system, build amenities, clubhouse, swimming pool, basketball court, and then that's how they made their money. That's how Camellia has made their money. So thank you, Pinay Heart at home, for your prayers. God bless. All right, Raymond, we'll be praying for you, my brother. You're welcome, Raymond. I happened to see someone share that then a brother of that Filipina is a new lawyer too. All right, and I'm sure if I see more about it, if it's more definitive information comes out about the murder, I'll report on it. But I just don't have enough. I don't want to report something and it be wrong. But I did want to mention it because I know. That's part of the news here. That's making rounds here as far as thank you, my brother Gino, for your prayers. All right, Raymond. Just stay positive, man. Stay positive. That's for me. That was the biggest thing when I was diagnosed with head and neck cancer, stage 3. I knew what I was up against. I knew 33 radiation treatments. 12 chemo treatments in 4 months. I knew what was ahead, but stay positive, It wasn't a death sentence, There is no death sentence, right? We can all go, whatever the doctors, whatever you start reading on Google, your life expectancy and all that, nothing's guaranteed. Like I said, keep praying, and then a lot of things, aren't in our hands. A lot of things. For me, just staying positive. Don't get stressed. Once you get diagnosed with illness, once you get diagnosed with cancer, diabetes, heart, whatever, just don't stress, because that'll add, that will worsen your condition. I believe that stress is not good. The minute you have any illness, that you want to be stress free as much as possible. Joe, Camilla did the same in the Philippines as developers do here in the US to make their money. Yeah, Camellia is a big corporation here, Joe. They have communities here in the Philippines, like here, Camellia Aklan. They pretty much have communities here, pretty much almost all the provinces, 80 provinces almost in the Philippines. Like there's Camellia in Rojas City, there's Camellia in Iloilo City, Camellia Savannah, Camellia Aklan. The only place that doesn't have Camellia, I don't think Camellia has in Antique. There's even a project, Camellia project in Boracay Island. So they're everywhere. They're not they're a big corporation. That's why at one time Manny Villar was like in the top 10 richest person in the Philippines. So it's not a small company. It's a big corporation here in the Philippines. Manny Villar, his wife, Cynthia Villar, they were senators. They became senators here in the Philippines. I know Manny's not a senator anymore. I'm not sure if Cynthia is, but their kids even. The son was like in charge of Department of Public Works here. That's the flood control. He was in charge of that division at one time. And I know Cynthia, the daughter, is also into politics. So big political family here in the Philippines. Raymond, I remember my brother Gino. I was there with you and Dad celebrate. I know, and I remember. I don't forget, man. That's why I don't forget you, Raymond. It's like when I was going through in 2023. I started my treatments March of 2023. I ended it March, April, May, June. June 26 was my last treatments in Iloilo. Raymond was there with me. I remember every day. He was like praying for me, commenting on the videos that I was making. I don't forget that, brother. That's why you mean to me. Yeah, you mean something to me, brother. That's why I want you to get healthy. Get healthy, my friend. Merlin, my wife and daughter-in-law are in Boracay. All right. They sent me picture. It is oh yeah, man. Boracay, to me, that's my happy place on earth. I'm never more happier than when I'm in Boracay Island. That's why I know one day, in a few years here, once I get my Social Security, we'll build the house in Katiklan. That way, I'm only a 15-minute ferry ride to Boracay. Heck, I might even buy me a boat. Get me a bangka boat so I can just travel to Boracay on a boat. Because a friend of mine does that. A friend of mine, Gary, he's an expat. He has his own boat. He doesn't even have to ride the ferries, man. He travels on his boat. He anchors right before Boracay and he just swims to Boracay. And I was like, man, I could do that, but I know it's just a matter of time. Dazzle and I always talked about it. We'll end up, the land and everything is just so expensive in Boracay. Maybe while we're building our tiny home, we're planning on building a tiny home in Katiklan. We bought land already in Katiklan, right across Boracay. Maybe just even rent at Boracay Nucos, maybe even rent a 1-bedroom. We won't sell this house. This house will always be ours because Leanna and the nephews are going to go to school in Calibo. This will be the place where they would stay. So, but definitely Boracay is in Dazzle and I's future. I know that. Politician dynasty should be abolished in the Philippines. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like anywhere. It's almost impossible to remove them, though. How would you do that? How would you remove political dynasties here? They're so powerful here. Merlin, my wife said it was a neat boat ride. Yeah, yeah, it's awesome, man. It's like there. I mean, oh, recently there's a development. I did read an article. I guess the bridge. They're building a bridge from mainland to Boracay. There's getting more support now. There actually money from the Department of Public Works. San Miguel Corporation is going to build the bridge, but they're getting money from the government. The only holdup now is the local government of Aklan province. So I'm sure they will iron it out one of these days, and I'm sure they will be building that bridge. Thank you, Brother Gino. Much love and prayers. All right, Raymond. Dazzle, Liana, and Mom. My husband saw the video in Boracay. He told me that he want to live there. LOL. I wonder the value. The thing about Boracay, Pinay Heart, the land in Boracay, what the biggest problem is finding a titled land in Boracay. A lot of land in Boracay is just a tax declaration, so that's a headache. And there's land in Boracay is always being contested by different families and different clans. That's why for me it wasn't worth it, and for another thing, it ain't cheap. Per square meter in Boracay, you're looking at like 50,000 pesos, so almost $1,000 per square meter. It is not cheap to buy land, and then you're not even sure if the land is titled. Many issues with land in Boracay. It's easier to just buy in mainland right across, because like in Katiklan, you're only a 15-minute boat ride. So to me, and then now once they build the bridge, you can even walk to Boracay once they build the bridge. Yeah. And I know it'll get built. Just my opinion. I know the bridge will get built, just because it's not convenient for people to not have a bridge to Boracay. Vaughn, is Daniel here today? He was earlier. Daniel's super busy now, man, because he's in his last month, and he's less than 30 days now for Daniel. So he's super busy now, he just pops in now and then because he's down to like the what's that, the home stretch. Daniel is so down to the home stretch. He will be here next month, and it costs more than our land in Florida. Never mind. Yeah, it does. Boracay is a tiny island. The whole island, I think, is like maybe 5 miles. It's not a big island. So, and a lot of the land are owned by families. Like there's certain families that control the land in Boracay, Tirol, Gelito, Mami, and there's like certain clans that own land there, and they're not gonna give it up easy. They're not gonna give it up easy because Bon, yeah. But you can buy land, Pinahar, cheaper land in mainland. Lots of land, like in Katiklan, Malay area, Buruanga, many beachfront area. You'll be surprised about the price on mainland Aklan. Very inexpensive. When they start to build the bridge to Boracay, there's been talk for a few years now on the bridge, but I think we're down to the home stretch now, because pretty much San Miguel Corporation agreed to build the bridge, and now I saw there's funding, about a 1 billion peso funding from the Department of Public Works to fund, to give money to San Miguel to build the bridge. The only holdup now is the province of Aklan, because the bridge is going to be built in Malay Aklan. So that's the only holdup. A lot of the people running the ferries, the boat ferries, they're against the bridge because they don't know what's going to happen to them, because you won't need a ferry anymore once the bridge is built. So that's the holdup. You got people wearing. I'm sure you saw it, right, Emilio, when you're no to the bridge T-shirts by the ferry operators. But to me, the bridge just has a lot more benefits than, I know it's gonna harm the people running the ferries, the boat people that transport, but the bridge will help not only with like electric supply to Boracay, water supply to Boracay, uh, trash disposal in Boracay, because right now, if you can imagine one day of trash in Boracay, truckloads, a dozen trucks of trash in Boracay, it has to be ferried to the mainland. The cost of that, imagine 12 truck full of trash, and you got to ferry that truck to the mainland. And you have to do that every day just to keep up. And there's times of the year here when you can't even travel between Boracay and mainland because the Coast Guard, the minute signal number one, typhoon, no travel. You're stuck on mainland or you're stuck in Boracay Island. Sometimes a few days, sometimes 2-3 days. Sometimes they don't have electricity in Boracay for a week. Last year, one whole week, no electricity in Boracay. So there's just too many issues that they've been getting by, but the bridge will solve it. That's why I think it's happening. It's just a matter of time. I'll be in Jacksonville this week. All right, Vaughn. Because I know Daniel's just busy, man. He's down to less than 30 days of leaving. He's trying to like close everything in Jacksonville. If you can imagine, if you're within 30 days of moving your life from America to the Philippines, you got so many last minute things that you have to do. So many last minute goodbyes to people, things that, oh man, I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of that, How about Guimaras to Iloilo bridges? Is it possible? The one thing here, nothing gets built here soon. It's like, especially that bridge is a project. They've done the initial, like, what is that? Like, where they're gonna build the bridge from Iloilo to Guimaras, but things take time here. Everything here is on island time, but it is in the works. There's actually, I saw a blueprint now. They're building a highway, above ground highway from Iloilo City. Is going to go to Rojas City, and then it's going to go to Boracay, to Caticlan. 210 kilometers above, kind of like a freeway, 2 lanes on both sides, above ground, or 2 tunnels and everything, kind of like a highway system. They actually, on the 2026 Philippine budget, they allotted money for that. Same thing with those bridges that they're building. There's money allotted for the Guimaras Iloilo Bridge. But, with any projects here in the Philippines, it takes time. It's like hoping that bridge from Guimaras to Iloilo, I'm hoping within 5 years. I'm hoping they will finish that within 5 years. How is Sir JP doing? I got a message from JP. I know he's back in Calibo. He was staying up in the mountains. Well, with his girlfriend. He was staying up in the mountains in Capiz, in Dumaraw in Capiz. But I did get a message from him real quick last night that seems like he was back at La Casa Española, because he mentioned that he spoke with the owner, Filipina. So I'm sure after this live stream, I'll check if I have another message with JP. Hi, Vaughn. How long are you going to stay in Jacksonville, Florida? Thanks, Kuya Gino. That's why I told my husband he should visit you there, meet you, James and Karen, and he visit the Philippines. He has to get there first to see. Oh, yeah. To me, nothing beats boots on the ground. Once you come here, and nothing beats meeting us, meeting James and Karen, meeting me, meeting the Colonel, meeting somebody that's here, that's kind of guide you, show you the ropes, let you decide whether this place is for you or not. It's better when you know people, right? Like for you, if you go to Manila now, Fortune. You can meet with Fortune. You can ask Fortune questions. It's better not knowing anybody. It's like it's a lot easier. Your transition here is a lot easier if you get a hold of people willing to help you. Peanut Butter Travels here. All right, Peanut Butter Travels. I am back. All right, Fortune's back from a meeting. All right. BOFA has been in the Philippines. Bank of America has been for many years already. I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that Notre Bridge, but that's a good news for tourists, but not to the boat owner or worker. Yep. Vaughn, Pinay Heart, I'll be in Jack's for the weekend only. Going to meet some friends and go back home to Columbus, Georgia. Enjoy, enjoy. The Taipans here are Filipino Chinese, but we don't know they are loyal to. You don't know, right? I think I know what they're loyal to, Fortune. They're loyal to their money. You know, it's like, that's one thing I know about rich people. Their loyalty is with their money. Or whatever can grow their money, that's who they are loyal to. Dumarao, Capiz is the all right birthplace of your father. All right, I've been to Dumarao, man. I'll pass by that area. I know exactly where Dumarao is, man. When I go to Iloilo City, I always pass it. Bad accounting practice. Don't forget to go to Guimaras. Oh yeah, for sure, man. I want to go there this year for sure. I want to eat many Guimaras mango. Try that mango pizza. Mango pizza, I guess, is popular in Guimaras. I want to try that. Right, Flyboy, someone is going to pocket the money and the project never gets done. Fortune, Merlin, come visit us. Merlin, come visit us. Daniel, Daniel was here early. Jai, Jambi, Jam Vasquez, Sir Fortune, good morning. Hi, Gino. The Guimaras Iloilo is very important for Guimaras. Yes, that's why a lot of investors, I know a lot of investors are like buying up in I'm seeing it even on my Facebook, people buying land in Guimaras because expecting the value of land in Guimaras to skyrocket once the bridge is finished. I mean, if you're a long-term investor, you know, to me, that's not a bad investment to buy land in Guimaras. Chinese buying farmland. Yeah, I heard that. Derek. You know, I know from James, I've heard that, you know, a lot of Chinese are buying land in the U.S. Here in the Philippines, at least they make it a little harder because Chinese, if they're from China, they're considered a foreigner. They would have to have an owner, Filipino owner. But, you know, here in the Philippines, they can get around that because there are a lot of Filipino Chinese, you know, Chinese people born here in the Philippines. There's a lot of, you know, a lot of businesses, a lot of land, a lot of areas here in the Philippines. You know, they're owned by Filipino Chinese, and then, like Fortune was saying, who are they really loyal to? Are they loyal to Filipino, or are they loyal to Chinese people? You know, for me, I always view them as loyal to their money. You know. Buying farmland in the US. And that's not the worst part, right, Derek? I know I've read articles where the Chinese are buying land beside military bases. You know, what's that all about? You know, who let that happen? I'm like, you know, we got military bases in the US and Chinese is buying land beside our military base. I don't know how that happened. You know, it's like, I don't know who allowed that to happen. You know, I get, what are those Chinese doing near military bases? Farming? You know, it's like, not, you know, more like spying on us. Mango season starts in March. Okay, I got to keep that in mind, Fortune. I got to keep that in mind. That way, I'll head to Guimaras end of March or maybe April. Good AM, Jump V, PBT. Guimaras has nice beaches, bigger land area than Boracay. And Iloilo people have money to spend in Guimaras. It's a beautiful island. All right, Colonel, all right. I think I just saw a video of you, Colonel, right? Yeah, I saw you I think you went on a ferry on your a motorbike to Guimaras. I was watching the video. I mean, you were driving around in Iloilo City, but I got to look back to the video now if you made it to Guimaras on your motorbike. Sir Ray, good morning. I'm back, mother and father. All right, FaceTime. All right. I'm close to ending this live stream anyway. But thank you for coming back, joining the live stream. Better during the month. Yes, I know that's not a figure. I was watching the video. You were using that camera where it's like two screen camera. You know that's kind of cool. All right, Colonel. Okay, I'm gonna end the live stream right here. I've been going on now for over 2 hours. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I appreciate everyone's time for joining the live stream. Take care, everyone, and everyone stay blessed. Stay blessed.